Welcome to Friday Fails. Oh, but why? Episode 5, I think.
Episode 5?
I got a concussion.
5 of these.
Ready? You gotta.
I'm sweating already.
You got a stocking hat indoors.
And a jacket.
Austin, Texas, for crying out loud. Hey, I'm Tyler.
Are you?
That's Jason.
Hey, I'm Tyler. And that's Jason.
I'm Jason.
And we're about to show you some cool stuff. We're not going to be too rehearsed. You want to know why? Because we're just humans and you're humans. You want to learn, we want to teach. Let's roll.
Yeah, we make mistakes. These guys particularly make more mistakes.
Particularly.
But let's learn from them. This one, I feel like really can relate to our subscribers.
Oh no! Is this a learn to ride out back? Oh no! Oh, poor guy.
I know.
Oh, poor kid. Broke his collarbone.
I know.
Wow. So, he should have started a little slower. I mean, honestly, the form wasn't too bad.
No, not horrible, right?
His head was a little far back, so it kind of weighted the back, and then it unloaded. And the bottom line behind this is, if he would have landed in the right spot of the jump, you would have been fine. He just overjumped it, so the bike just, went a little forward, and then he collapsed. He could have pulled that off if he was in the right body.
He could have pulled.
Poor guy, man.
I think poor guy. This one touches the heart because you see a lot of learner riders.
Yeah, we have guys.
Do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Jumping's fun. You want to jump. What could he have done differently? Obviously,
slow down.
Slow down.
Just slow down.
Just slow down.
And then worked on it from there, because he's not in a horrible position. It's not perfect or great, but it's not horrible. He definitely could jump just like that and land on the downside and be fine. If this is you, slow it down, man, after your collarbone heals up.
So this is you, you're in midair though, what do?
Jump off. Just kidding. Pull the parachute.
Keep his butt down lower towards the fender, brace a little bit more for a hard hit. Maybe that still wouldn't have saved him, but...
Yeah, he just collapsed a little bit.
Maybe.
He's fine. You'll be all right, bud.
Yeah, I like this one.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Nope.
His friend's just sitting out there, just waiting on it. Broke his bike in half, I think. Oh my gosh, I think it just broke the forks right off of it. Look at him, he said, stop!
Hey, man.
Hey, stop! You're gonna hit me. Oh, wow.
Okay, so let's back it up. Before we talk about that,
man, you jumped pretty far, honestly.
Let's talk about this real quick. He's on the throttle throughout the face, but
he tucked the butt under and let the back end drop, push him down with his feet.
Yeah.
And then he just pulled, he's pulling the handlebars, so he feels like he's going back. Instead of getting his head down and low over the front, he's pulling the handlebars to try to get his body to the front. So when you pull the handlebars, he's pulling the front end up essentially. And it's in his lap, straight up and down, and he has no option but to land on his friend. Which, even if he was jumping perfect, he was still gonna hit his buddy.
If I was these guys, like, I would have this picture right here, framed.
It would be like, why I don't ride with Johnny anymore.
Yeah.
This is, every time he calls to ride, this is the picture I send him.
They got up. They're all right.
They got up. The bike.
They're dusting each other off.
Sure.
They're fine. It's okay. Just enjoy this.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Let's just do it again.
The poor guy would have been fine.
I know.
If he would have just let off right here and roll. Oh! Hey, your bike! Man, his Boost Mobile Yamaha sunk. Oh, man. Oh, man. Why? You got ripped off the back and he just never let off.
I mean, there's really no, he's obviously, for you water skippers out there, he did approach this rather slow, which is a higher risk. If you approach it faster, you obviously have to keep your weight back because the water is gonna stop your speed and slow you down. But he probably would have been fine. Right there. Would have been fine.
He just hit like a little something.
I think he's freaking out, and he's freaking out, and he's like starting to give it a heck of a lot of throttle, and then and then it caught.
Look at that. His first whip.
His
First whip, but he wasn't with the bike.
He's literally looking at his bike.
Just going.
Maybe it'll clear the water from the other side.
Well, we can pick it up down there at the dam. The dam should stop it.
Well, that is such a desperate look right there.
Yeah, it's like, man,
So-
I just got that for Christmas.
I don't know if this one was more for entertainment. Is there anything we can learn from this?
I think just don't do that. I mean, don't do it. You let the guy on the KTM with a smash pipe and no back fender go first.
I don't know if they actually already went through this because I've done water crossings like this. Right here, he probably got a lot deeper. I raced the Baja 500 years back, and you never know how deep these are going to be. So it's always nice to, I don't know, not that you want to get your boots all wet and everything, but you know you're going to get soaking wet anyway. So to like walk across or do something or go try to see if the water's clear and look at the ground. Try to make some kind of judgment, because if it got a little deeper at the end, then he knows he's gonna have to approach it with more speed next time. And it may have gotten a little bit deeper at the end for him, and then that happened.
Poor guy.
And now his bike, what bike? No bike.
Yeah, he's got to pick that one up at the dam.
no bike. Well, we've all been in this position before.
First off, trespassing. Wow.
I'm gonna walk us through. Obviously, somebody's hit it before. There's a line. He's reaching for it.
Both are okay.
Clearly knows he's gonna come up short. So I guess the biggest thing is, low rider. What could he have done knowing that he's gonna come up short?
You pull the front wheel up and land back wheel first, or maybe a little front wheel down. I think back wheel first, and if you're landing in sand, it's going to be a little less of a hit. And then also just landing on the gas, which I'm not sure if he did, I can't hear, but I think he might have landed on the gas.
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah, not really.
Not a lot of gas.
I don't know that the gas would have helped him very much there. He's just hitting so hard. And then the main ingredient is just jump to the downside. That would have prevented it all, but guess what? He didn't, and now he went for 2 jumps in one and a front flip. He actually literally did a front flip.
He did a perfect front flip.
Wow. But hey, you know what, guys? It happens. It happens. It's trial and error. You just got to do your best to be able to save these things, you know? Casing jumps is doable. You can case jumps and be okay. You just have to really know what's going on.
Wear all safety gear possible. Just smart, because now you can actually probably get up and do it again. If you didn't have a helmet on, like 80% of these videos, he can't get up and do it again. All right, there we go. Back to 1995, October. It's
Someone's
August
like this
3rd.
right here.
August 3rd, yeah.
Oh, body slam.
1995, 2018,
Same thing.
same thing.
So in 95, like, coaches weren't as big of a thing as they are now, so especially YouTube, like free information on YouTube was definitely not a thing.
Free information, unless you want to pay us. I'll give you my address.
Patreon, check us out.
Oh yeah, there you go.
He just came up short, let the back end drop out from under him, which is okay, and then he just collapsed on the landing. Usually that comes to just from not being real strong, right? He probably hasn't done a whole lot of working out to train for motocross, so that would help, is being real strong when you hit. Also would help with just be knowing how to jump first. I don't think that he's really taking the time jumping small tabletops and getting that down before you go to a big double like that. On 85, he looked like a pretty big dude on 85. So there was a lot of variables that were against him. If I was in his coach's corner at the race, I would have said, hey man, we're not gonna race tonight, let's go home and practice some more, because I mean, it's inevitable when you're a beginner and you go out there and you start getting really competitive that things go south. And that's exactly what's going on here, is that his visor's so far down he can't see a thing. He probably didn't even know a jump was coming up. He was just all of a sudden in the air. He just cased it. A lot of people just cased it on this Friday Fails, and not a whole lot you can do once that happens.
Thanks so much for checking out that amazing educational experience of crashes and mistakes that we can learn from them. If you want to go ahead and subscribe over here, Instagram, got new clips, new awesome stuff coming every week for you, and Patreon. Be a supporter. You want to see more videos, help us out, we'd love it. See you next week.
See ya.